I'm getting a weird echo. Is it just me? Who knows? That's all right. You're going to get it twice today, really close together. And with me, as always, Gary Tharnish from Home Design Real Estate. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I have no echo. Of course, I have no headphones on, so that does kind of help.
That might help. I should take my headphones off.
But
I'm yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it sounds like in my head.
Good, man. Home Design Real Estate's going group.
Go group.
It's going really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I cannot talk about it very well, but it's going to be a warm day to be showing houses.
Oh, buddy. Yeah.
Life goes on.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
This segment's brought to us by Complete Family Dermatology, UPS Stores, and new sponsor, Wyuka Cemetery. Appreciate you guys. Today, we are going to, we're always talking about business, the struggles of business, things that everybody is kind of fighting against. And one of the big ones is employment, looking for employees, looking for people, and trying to solve that problem. And it was so funny because we had my stove went out, right? And we have a skills gap in this country where people are not qualified to do just, dirt under your fingernails type work. And they have such a need. And I had called to get somebody to come out and take a look at my stove and my dryer. And it was a $300 trip charge just to show up and have a peek because businesses can't find employees. So today, a little bit different. We've got Tom Emerson with us. He is an electrician. He is the head of the IBEW. Is it 265?
Yep, 265 here in Lincoln.
And also the JATC program, which is we're going to get into bringing kids in, teaching them electrical. And then also we have my son, Alex, is with us today, who just graduated the program.
Yes, I did.
There we go. So,
an electrifying show this morning.
Yes, it is. So give us just kind of that 30,000 foot view, Tom, of the JATC program.
So it's a 4-year program. They go through going through the different curriculum using basically they go for 4 years. They do class August to May, and it's 2 nights a week for 3 hours each night. And then when they finish that, they are prepared to take their journeyman's test and become licensed journeyman.
Yeah. And it's such a slick because there's no tuition, right?
No. So we partner with Southeast Community College. And so the students actually sign an agreement when they come in. But our contractors that are affiliated with us pay into the JATC. So then the tuition with SEC is paid for by the contractors. So then like the only cost like Alex experienced was just covering like books. And so, might be $600 a year that a student has to pay for books, but then we also have scholarships that they can apply for to help reimburse their costs. So it's pretty cheap education.
I think across 4 years, the most I paid for books was $800.
Yeah.
On the whole scheme of things, I mean, that is dirt cheap.
So basically you are going out of college because it's a 4-year program. You're stepping out of college with a $2,500 degree and you get paid full-time work the whole time you're in the program. How awesome is that?
Get paid while you learn.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm asking for a friend. What does journeyman mean? I become a journeyman. I can come into your house and wire it.
So,
alone?
Yes. So in the state of Nebraska, you need to work for an electrical contractor for 4 years. So you got to have the 4 years of experience, and then you take a state exam to become a licensed journeyman electrician. And then at that point, you're able to work on your own in a service van or to come to your house, as you said.
Okay, cool. So the first year when you're going 2 nights a week for 3 or 4 hours, whatever that is, you do that from like August to May. Then you become what's called a journeyman, but you still have to spend 3 years working with an electrician as an apprentice, or that's the part I'm not.
No, so the schooling's the 2 nights a week for 4 years. So you're going
a whole 4 years.
Yeah, so you're going to class for the whole 4 years. Part-time school, full-time work to get to your journeyman status.
Got it. So the full-time works with an electrician going out as an apprentice,
Yes.
basically.
Yep.
Is there risk to that involved if you work with a private, with just, so say I have an electric company, it's just me, and I'm going to hire a journeyman or someone to work with me for the 3 years they're in college, and 2 years out, I just go, hey, this isn't working out. Poof, you're off. Does that happen? And how is that a big thing that happens often, or where someone's out in the cold without being able to finish?
I think are you asking that if you as a contractor had an apprentice and you left the apprentice to do work,
Right. No,
you're not, no?
no, I'm talking like what happened to my friend's son,
Oh,
where he was working for somebody, and then
he got laid off.
Yeah. So he's like, I don't think I'm gonna be an electrician, whatever. And then I happened to talk to you.
Right.
You connected him with.
That's the great part about
you, and it worked out really good. But I was like, man, that would be a nightmare.
That's the great part about the union. I mean, they will help you and keep you in and keep you employed and keep you working.
That's a key factor right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So on Alex's point, so we as far as the apprentices go, they rotate contractors once a year, so they get to experience different contractors. We have different size contractors, different type of work that they do, different size of jobs, and so they're able to go get an experience with multiple contractors. But we're affiliated. Well, we're affiliated with several contractors, but like right now in Lincoln, I have over 20 contractors that we work with.
Sweet.
And so, we do construction. So if one contractor gets slow, the apprentice could go in and see Roy, our training director, and get sent to another contractor. And the nice thing is because our contractors are all affiliated, all the benefits are the same. Even though you switch companies, you're not out or starting new.
Are you seeing a shortage of men and women wanting to get into this? Like, is there plenty of room in the program, or?
So this year, I serve on our apprenticeship committee, and this year we're seeing a lot of good applicants, which is the first time in a few years that I think we've had a big interest. So I think it's coming around for us, but as a whole, in general, I think the building trades are lacking interest. And I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if the people shy away from the physical labor, or I'm not sure what it is.
Well, I think the skills gap is massive in this country, and people don't realize it. Just prepping for this show, I went to LinkedIn, which you can go and search for jobs and whatnot. In the United States right now, on LinkedIn, there are 24,000 open electrician jobs. That's just electrician. I mean, we're not talking plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, all the other tradespeople that, there's literally 7.5 million jobs that are open for trained, skilled labor that just can't be filled. And that's why I wanted to have you guys in is, we're really not talking, there's no kids listening to us, no kid in high school going, hey, I better tune into the 402 Business Insider. But their parents are, and their grandparents are. And if you are looking to do something and help your kids, grandkids move forward, these are the types of jobs we need to look at. For the last 15, 20 years, I've always said, today's tradesman is tomorrow's millionaire. And back then, I got the big eye roll, right? Like, this guy's ridiculous. Because when you and I were kids, college was the big thing. If you didn't go to college, that means you were going to be stuck doing this manual labor. And so they beat the fear into us to go, you better go to college. You better go to college. Now it's changed. College, for us, you could go get a degree in whatever you wanted back then. It just showed that you were willing to make the effort to get a degree to go beyond high school, and then it qualified you to do whatever it is you wanted to do. Those days are gone. Those days are long gone. I remember, what was it, like 14, 15 years ago, when you still owned Burton Terrell's Flowers, when you had to cut your entire French history department, right? Yeah.
Yes. An Asian classic department.
That's right. Both of them can't use you anymore.
And the Flowers suffered for it.
Yes, they did. Or at least the cards,
We weren't growing.
Seriously, it's right now we don't have a need, and these kids are going to college and they are getting degrees. They're coming out with $100,000 in debt, and the jobs just aren't there. There just isn't a need for it. I looked back, 1985, my first job, $3.35 an hour. And I was happy to have the job. That was no benefits. That was nothing. You have a job. Alex, you were probably making almost $30 an hour, your first $25 an hour, something like that.
I was making 20, I think.
20?
Yeah. With overtime. There was overtime there.
Yeah. And can you imagine that? You're getting paid to go to work.
Right.
And learning along the way. So yeah, I look and I go, right now, and we're not going to get political, but if the president, he's trying to bring jobs and manufacturing back to the United States. And if he's successful, what is the 7.6 million job shortage going to look like if he's successful bringing this back? AI is not going to replace tradesmen. It's not going to solve my plumbing issues. It's not going to twist wires together. So again, this is something that's really important that we need to start pushing our kids toward the trades.
AI did, however, translate my ticket from Gubbio, Italy into English so I could pay it.
Oh,
there's a good
well, that's
reason
handy.
for AI here and there.
So there you go.
So it took away your excuse not to pay your ticket.
Right. I thought I
think it was a
that's
flaw.
until I saw the word Gubbio, and I'm like, what is this? It's crazy.
Doesn't sound like a win
There's
for
a
you.
place for AI, but it's not going to wire your house.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, sure.
That's exactly it.
One thing, Travis, on your number you gave for Indeed for the, what was it, 20,000?
24,000 open electrician jobs.
So for the IBEW nationwide, we're about 2,000 journeymen short.
Wow.
Just as a nationwide, we're about 2,000 journeymen short for all the work that we're doing currently.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
Yeah. And it's a great opportunity. I mean, the thought of coming out of college or out of your post-high school degree with a job like that, which is great. I love the idea that for 3 years, too, they're working in the field, getting their practicum and everything that you need.
So all 4 years you're working in the field.
Oh, all 4. So
All
starting
four.
right away.
You
See,
start
that's
right
awesome.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have two nights a week that you are in class, and then you're studying a lot. But that's okay. I mean, that's all part of the deal.
Sure.
Well, you got to learn. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you got to put in the work to become a good electrician that people want to hire and move up in their own company or whatever you want to do. I mean,
Yeah.
There's work involved.
The other thing is you're not just getting paid, but you're also getting killer benefits.
Mhm.
I did not have benefits in 1985. Did you? I mean, what was your first job, Gary?
My first job was, paper out for years, was Valentino's.
Oh.
When they only had one, and minimum wage was $1.49. I'm just a wee bit more seasoned than you, Travis.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the benefits were incredible, right?
There were none.
Retirement plan off the
No,
charts.
No.
No free
No
pizza.
retirement plan.
No benefits. We did get free pizza.
Well, there you go. That's good enough for me.
Yes. We got free cab rides home at 2 a.m. on football Saturdays.
Oh, there you
Ooh,
go.
there you go.
That's good.
Winning.
There's a little benefit right there.
For having all these minors working about my first drum set, which was great. So it all worked out wonderfully, but minimum wages. Of course, the first house I bought was $34,000 and it was nice. So
Yeah. And what was the percentage rate on that?
it had just come down to 17.1% interest rate. It was fantastic.
What a bargain.
Yeah, you cannot beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was an interesting time back then.
That's
But
a way to put it.
yeah, so not only these kids making great wages, you have benefits. The benefits are incredible.
Yeah.
What are they putting in your retirement plan? Every hour you work, they put in, what was it, $2, $3 an hour, something like that
I'll
into your
let Tom
retirement?
answer that.
So for apprentices, they get a percentage. So our journeyman rate and their pensions is a percentage. So like a first year starts at 60%. So journeyman gets $6 an hour into their pension. So a first year apprentice gets 60% of that.
Think of that, $6 an hour going into your retirement as a journeyman. And Alex is 22. He got his license, so he's a journeyman. Can you
gonna
imagine
do
that?
math? Are you going to do
No,
math?
do you want me to?
No.
Fast math.
No,
Go.
it's Saturday. No math on
No
Saturdays.
math on Saturday. Well,
Let's just say it's awesome.
it is. It is 22 years old. I mean, I wasn't even making, but I look too, if you went and looked at $3.35 an hour and extrapolated out what that would be today versus what Alex is making,
It's huge.
he would have been making $16 an hour back in 1985. That's how the math works there.
Nice.
Could you imagine? That's rock star money in 1985.
Yeah.
So it's just absolutely incredible. Well, we got a break coming up, so we're going to run to that really quick. When we come back, lots of questions. Also, text your questions in. If you have kids, even junior high, high school, that are thinking about going into a program, looking for a career, something that's solid, send in your questions. We'll talk. All right. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider, and we'll be right back.
$1,499.3 KLIN.
Roofing companies come and go, but not Red Rhino. We're local. We've been here over 25 years, and we stand behind our work long after the storm passes. Whether it's a small repair or a full roof replacement, our residential team brings quality, honesty, and peace of mind. Because your home deserves more than a quick fix. It deserves a partner you can count on. Red Rhino Roofing. Online at redrhinoroofs.com. Red Rhino Roofing. Local, reliable, proven.
Losing a loved one is never easy. Wayuga Funeral Home makes pre-need funeral planning as simple as possible. Now through June, Wayuga is having their pre-need Memorial Day promotion. 25% discount on spaces at Wayuga or Fairview. 10% discount on Wayuga or Fairview Mausoleum or Niche. 10% discount on pre-need caskets, vaults, and services. Affordable payment plans. But don't wait. Call for your appointment today at 402-474-3600. Wayuga Funeral Home, where family matters most. No discounts on new construction.
Looking for more than just a house? Find a home with the experts at Home Design Real Estate Group. Our team doesn't just help you buy or sell. We help you envision, design, and create the perfect space for your life. From first-time buyers to custom dream homes, we bring expert guidance, market insight, and a touch of design magic to every step. Let's make your next move the best one yet. Visit homedesignrealestategroup.com today.
At James Arthur Vineyards, every bottle tells a story, and Bossy Sister is no exception. Named after the winemaker's own sister, this semi-sweet wine is part of our family series here at JAV. Made from the Edelweiss grape, the Bossy Sister is sweet up front and a little sassy on the finish. Dedicated to sisters, bossy or not. Visit us and try a bottle or find us at select retailers. Cheers to good wine, good friends, and great stories. James Arthur Vineyards, wine as beautiful as the place it comes from.
Do you want to be a guest on the 402 Business Insider or know someone who should be? We'd love to hear your story and share your insights on running a business. To fill out a guest request form, go to 402insider.com.
Founded and operated by American veterans and patriots, we are a personal injury law firm that brings a warrior ethos to every case. We are Barry Law.
Hi, I'm Jason Ball, president of the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce. Are you ready to take your business to the next level? The Lincoln Chamber of Commerce is more than a membership. It's a network of forward-thinking professionals, top-tier events, pro-business advocacy, and strategic partnerships, all designed to elevate your success. And if you're ready to connect, collaborate, and lead, now is the time. Join today at lcoc.com and be part of Lincoln's thriving business community.
Lincoln's entrepreneurs, one conversation at a time. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
Hey, welcome back to the 402 Business Insider on this cold, very, very cool Saturday morning. I think it's 90 something already.
It is kind of cold in the studio,
I'm trying to
though.
psych myself into that it's really, nice outside, but it's nice outside, right? It'd be a great day to be up in an attic wiring. I'm sure it would be fantastic. So I'm still kind of a little bit blown away at like what we get paid an hour, which I think is fantastic. The more, the better. But I also want to let you know that this segment is sponsored by James Arthur Vineyards, and they had the what they do in March where they combined junk.
It was
food
junk
with
food
wine.
and wine pairing.
Okay, right. Like, hello. That'll bring in a whole new crowd.
Yeah.
And then Western National Bank, which I know you bank there, and they're amazing.
Yeah, love those guys.
Yeah, we
just
had them on
regular guys. When you're in business, it is so important just to have a relationship with a banker. And having somebody that understands and is just kind of a regular guy, somebody I can walk in, wear a t-shirt and go, hey, I need some help buying this house. I need some help expanding my business, whatever it is. So Western National Bank, Dallin and Todd and all those guys, just go down there and catch up with them. They're fantastic.
Sweet.
All right. Well, we're back. We're talking with Tom and Alex. We're talking electricity. We're talking the JATC program. Now, I know there are a lot of programs out there. I think SCC has their own program, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you guys are kind of part of it.
Yeah. So SCC, they got a good program. Theirs is a 2-year program if you do the full thing, and then when you graduate from SCC. In their program, you go out and work for a contractor for 3 years, and then you're eligible to take your test. With us, we've been partnered with SEC for over 20 years, and our apprentices going through our program get the electrical side, and then if they do their gen eds through SEC, they can get their associate's degree, and then come graduation time, they can walk the stage for SEC. So we are partnered with them, and we have seen people that have gone through the 2 years at SEC and then ended up with us anyways. So their program isn't bad by any means, but sometimes it's like, I could potentially save you a little time and money if I knew you were looking at that route and laid out both options for you.
Yeah, because you're going to have tuition there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have tuition through JATC. You're going to have time just because it's a lot more classes, I would assume.
Yeah, theirs is a full day of class, full time for essentially 2 years. So you would only be able to work part-time. With us, you work full-time and go to school part-time. So I think that's kind of the difference.
Yeah, and the test, it's the same test.
Yeah, it's
whether you go whatever program you go through.
Correct.
There was one in my class. I mean, he came from SCC and he joined my class, and I know he felt frustrated because he was essentially relearning what he had already learned at SCC, but at way less cost. I mean, that has to be frustrating, not knowing that this is out there and he already spent all this money.
Well, yeah. So in a nutshell, if I just go to SCC and start the classes, I'm going to do 2 years of classes, and then I still have to do 3 or 4 more years after that.
3 years after that.
3 years. Yep. So there's 5 years. Whereas if you partner in the JATC program with IBEW 265, 265, then it's a 4 year. It's 4 years from the get go, and you're working that entire time, right?
Yeah. Learning the program,
working and earning. I mean, you're earning and learning.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that.
Well, and one thing I'd like to say is our program was a 5-year program, and then just this last year, 2024, we went back to a 4-year program, and I think that will also help with recruiting, because 5 years, even though it went fast for me, I think is intimidating for some people to have a 5-year commitment, and now we're at 4 years, so I think that'll help us move forward.
Do you help place? Well, I guess so many people need electricians. That's not an issue. But do you help place people in jobs, or is it kind of you're on your own?
Yeah, no. So when they start the apprenticeship, they get selected, or they get placed at a contractor, and then they have opportunities to rotate, like I said, once a year. And then when they're finishing up, they actually get an option to stay with the contractor they're working with or rotate to a new one. And so that is something good. And the contractor, you may like the contractor and they're going to like you. And as long as you're doing a good job, you'll have employment as long as they got work.
Sure.
Like my first year, I worked for a company, Wired, and then I rotated to another company, Capital City. And then my third year, I was able to rotate back to Wired, and they must have liked me for some reason or something. And I stayed there through my 4th year, and I'm still working with them today. You have opportunities to go other places, see other things.
And you're still out at the what's the factory you're out at? Zoetis. Thank you. But they also do, house calls. They have people in trucks, so you're going to get to learn. If you want to, you can rotate into those different options. So, well, I hear the music. I'm getting the signal. We'll see if I can get it out before we go to commercial. So you're listening to the 402 Business Insider, and Travis, Gary, Tom, Alex.
You know what's better than waking up early to go to the airport? Sleeping in. Lucky for you, the lines at the Lincoln Airport are so short and our service is so fast. You won't need to sacrifice precious beauty sleep to get here hours before your flight. So, go ahead, sleep in. You deserve it, and choose the airport that helps you relax. LNK, make flying easy.
At Complete Family Dermatology, we specialize in the treatment of all types of skin disorders, from acne to skin cancer and everything in between. With 11 locations across southeastern Nebraska, including 2 clinics in Lincoln, expert care is always close to home. Call 402-423-1111 or visit CompleteFamilyDermatology.com to request an appointment. Complete Family Dermatology, where healthy skin runs in the family.
Let's face it, suits can be sketchy. Ties too tight, shoes too polished. Sometimes you want to just go to your bank and feel comfortable. At Western National Bank, we get it. Whether you're making big life decisions or just taking care of business, there's no need for the suit and tie. At WNB, we rock jeans and tees. We're all about comfort while you bank with ease. Relax and get banking done in a way that fits you. Visit us online at mywnb.com or visit one of our 11 locations. Western National Bank, Community, Culture, Commerce. Member FDIC.
Running a business is tough. You're juggling marketing, admin, and trying to keep up with it all. At Transformation Group, we help lighten that load. We craft smart, strategic marketing that drives real growth. We handle administrative tasks so you can focus on what matters. And we build efficient automations using our SAM software to save you time and money. It's time to scale smarter, not harder. Visit tmresults.com and let's make business easier.
Do you have sterling silver, gold jewelry, or dental gold just sitting around collecting dust? Lincoln Coin and Bullion will help you understand what you have and help you turn it into cash. For a private appointment, call 402-327-2853 or find us online.
At Integrated Behavioral Health Services, we believe everyone deserves access to high-quality, compassionate mental health care. Our team provides personalized treatment for individuals experiencing crisis or living with severe mental illness, helping you overcome life's challenges with understanding and support. Whether you're struggling with anxiety, depression, or just need someone to talk to, we walk with you on your journey to healing. Visit ibhealthservices.com to learn more. Integrated Behavioral Health Services. Together, building a stronger, healthier community.
You can call if you want to, or I guess you can text. Either way, the number is the same, 402-479-1400 on the Summit Lawns Talk and Text line. Summit Lawns, a yard you love, made easy. From the Momo Pizzeria and Ristorante Studios, we are the voice of Lincoln. KLIN Lincoln. KBDK HD3 Lincoln. K257GN Lincoln is 1499.3 KLIN. Where Nebraska business owners tell their story. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
And we're back on the 402 Business Insider. This segment brought to us by Red Rhino Roofing and Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Sartor, I just love those guys. We got to get Rick in here and talk to us.
Yeah.
I've known Rick for so long and just interesting stories. So we're back. We're talking with Tom Emerson, Alex Filan with the JATC program, the electrical program. So when somebody starts, so there are so many options. We already talked about the SEC. You have you guys. Somebody can go and call an electrical company and probably start that way. I imagine they're looking for people just the same. But there is a pretty good difference between working through the union and just working for a regular electrical company, especially in benefits and so forth. Is the work a lot more steady with the union?
I mean, in all reality, it's probably about the same, work-wise, as far as work consistency and whatnot. I would suppose it's about the same, I would think, because a lot of it, some people may have different opinions, but it really is going to come down to yourself. I tell apprentices all the time, you're providing a service for your contractor. You need to sell yourself. You need your abilities. And so, if you're showing up to work every day and you're doing a good job, you're going to have employment, whether it's with one of our contractors or one of our competitors.
Yeah. I think there's more security in the fact that, like we stated earlier, that your benefits move with you to contractors. So you have more security, whereas non-union, you go contractor to contractor, your benefits don't follow you.
Yeah,
right.
That's
so
true.
That's the big difference.
Everywhere you go, it's the same package, So this contractor, so I go over there, I get work, and it's the same.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your path, Alex. I'm sure when you graduated from high school, you were like, I'm living with Travis. I gotta get my own
I need to
place.
figure this out.
Your first goal, get out of here, right? And so what led you to the program?
So there's a guy, he's in the studio, really pushed me towards electrical because it scares him. So
you knew Tom.
Right. Yeah.
So it was funny because, you know, Dad owns rentals, so he had an electrician down one day, and he was a non-union electrician. And I said, how do I do this? And he took out a scrap piece of paper and he wrote the address of the hall, and he goes, go here, talk to these people. Not knowing, I'm like, all right, this must be like a mob deal, you know, you kind of get shady. Yeah.
They're right behind Guido Trucking Company.
That's right. Yeah. Put on your best
Armellini's
polo.
are on the other side of the street.
Yes. Put on your best polo and walk in there, get the hands going. And I went in there. I talked to Roy with JATC, and he's like, "Yep, we'll get you going. You got an entry test, which isn't that hard. It's basic algebra and reading comprehension, you know, just little things. And then you talk to the committee that Tom is on, and you make a good impression. And then you either start as a CW, and
what's a CW?
Is it construction worker?
It's construction
pre-apprentice.
Yeah, pre-apprentice is a good way to sum it up.
But yeah, and then you can work that way for a little while, and then they'll get you in the apprentice program once there's an opening. But there's so many openings now that it's unlikely. But then you get into the apprenticeship program and you just work and learn. I was lucky. I got right into the apprentice program. I didn't have to be wasn't a pre-apprentice because there was an opening, and I just worked and learned and went through these
paid
and got paid
well.
Yes.
Very well.
Right.
And it was so funny because when he got in, it was COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And so
It was like
you
right
want
at
to
the
talk
end.
about luck. He came home, I think it was the first week. He goes, Dad, they have a new deal. If you show up and work, I think it was 95% of your hours.
Yeah.
They give you a $100 a week bonus,
$200 cash. And that was just to keep people showing up was the big incentive. Is there's two different words I always get mixed up. Is it per diem? Is what that is? Okay.
There's per diem, and then there's the incentive pay,
Yes.
which at the time they were giving you essentially a show up bonus.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Unfortunately, that program is gone, but it was funny because Alex comes home and they go, okay, bud, here's how this works. You're going to work 100% of your hours. You're going to ask for more, and you're going to put this $200 in a retirement account because because he was 18.
I did not do that.
Dude,
I
are you
spent
still
it.
living at home?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's tense.
it's tense. I love it. Right. Well, yeah, the stove's out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Starting a campfire in the backyard every night.
I love it.
The interesting thing about our apprenticeship is it's just like SEC, you know, you have everybody from new high school graduates to, 30, 40-year-olds. You know,
Yeah.
when I went through the apprenticeship, we had people that had full 30-year careers at facilities in Lincoln that closed. And so they came to us to, learn a new trade and that, work until retirement. So there's really nobody that's too old to try the apprenticeship if you're looking for a new career. I mean, it's just and sometimes the kids right out of high school are really good, and sometimes they're just not sure. They're kind of depends on the maturity level, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think the oldest guy in my class was 32, and most of them had family and kids, and it kept them fed. It kept them, in good standings, or however you want to say it.
It's an incredible program if you think about it, right? Like I went to UNL, nobody paid me to go to school. As a matter of fact, I paid a whole lot of money to go to school and worked after school every day just to pay everything. So.
Well, and I don't think the apprenticeships get talked about enough because I grew up in a small town southeast of Lincoln, and I didn't know what an apprenticeship was. I didn't know what a union was. I didn't know any of that. So out of high school, I went to SEC and went through their welding program, and then there's a guy I know from my hometown that drove a service van, and And then I had one of my friends that I grew up with, he got into the apprenticeship a year ahead of me, and he's like, you need to come check this out. And I'm like, well, what is it? And so that's how I kind of got directed that way, but I didn't know anything about it. It was kind of almost an accident that I fell into, and now I've been here 21 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It is. And again, most of your people that are going into the program, they're not like Alex. They're not 17, 18 years old. A lot of them are like early mid 20s, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I was 22 when I started. I was already married and had one little kid, and it was, starting out, it was tough because, just financially trying to get things going, but it was the best thing I ever did.
Our brains are not fully matured till 25. I am in my
Or
season of life.
16.
Mine is.
But it's so funny in high school, like in high school, we start asking, like, David, what do you want to do when you grow up? Well, I still haven't grown up, but people still ask me what I'm going to do when I grow up. But so it's not, it's not surprising that you're 22, 25 when you get into something. And I think I'm seeing the younger generation take a little more time to decide what they want to do. Is my feeling through this journey of life. And we get about 80 summers. I've seen 64. So in those 64, I've kind of sensed that the younger generation is taking a little more time to decide what they want to do, which I think is great. My dad was an electrician his whole life and he hated it.
Oh, did he really?
Well, he went into electricity because he was drafted and they said, you're going to be an electrician. He was an electrician, just thought that that's what he had to do. I didn't realize he didn't like it till he retired and we were actually talking about it one day. He was like, I hated being an electrician, but I had to feed all you kids and whatever. And I was like, oh. On another side note, do both of you get chiropractic? You should if you don't. My dad never did chiropractic because he was convinced, that you'd be paralyzed when
right.
Sure.
Yes, right. And anyway, when he was on like 70, in his 70s, he was having trouble, couldn't hardly walk. Dad, you got to come see my chiropractor. I've been in a car accident, so I was like, they're great. He wouldn't go. I finally got him in there. Literally, the doctor took x-rays, came in, and he goes, Elmer, you were either an electrician or a plumber is my guess. And my dad goes, what have you told him? Didn't you? So I didn't tell him what you did. And he could see it, that you get hook arthritis a lot because there are crawl spaces, you're angling down somewhere to plug something in and stuff. So just a little side note.
We definitely get in a lot of awkward body positions.
Right. Yeah. And you're holding all of the weight. My dad always had his work belt on one side with all the tools on one side. So you're not curved all the time.
That's how I am.
I guess people can see me. They're shut off now. But
and those are things you have to think about. When he came to me and he goes, I don't know what I should do. What direction should I be going? And I think at first you wanted to be a mechanic. I'm like, don't work on somebody else's toys for a living. Get a great job, have your own toys and work on those.
And now I hate my toys.
Yeah, because none of them run.
No,
because you're not a mechanic.
Not one.
And then he thought about welding. It's like, that's going to be tough on the eyes. We talked about plumbing. It's like, okay, plumbing is low. Yeah. And some electrical is low, but some of it's high. Some of it's, at eyeball level. But yeah, those are things that you do have to think about as you start getting older, as you start getting into a career. We have a kid that we're helping. He lives with us and he climbs towers for a living.
Oh boy.
Could you imagine trying to climb a tower at our age?
No.
Well, he walks like a question mark and he's 2 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
His knees are going out.
That is hard on the body. So if somebody goes in, let's say they are an electrician or in the SCC program, they can actually switch over to you, right? They can join, even if they're a journeyman and not part of the 265, they can switch over, can't they?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, if like you said, sometimes we've had people go through SEC and then they come over and go through finish our program and graduate and become journeymen. We are always trying to recruit. And the way I look at it is I'm always trying to offer somebody a good opportunity. Like some people don't want to change, and that's fine. But I look at it as of what it's done for me. And, and as Alex goes along, he's going to see all the benefits. So I just try to view it as trying to help people and offer something that would be good for them and their family. So yeah, we're constantly trying to recruit good journeymen from our competitors on the non-union side. And I mean, that's what we do.
I worked with a guy, he came from the non-union side, and his big motivation was the benefits. I think the benefits are some of the best. I mean, it's great medical. It's great. It's terrific retirement.
Yeah.
I mean, as good as it gets, really. And he said it's just better. It's better work. It's roughly the same work, but it's, better conditions and better benefits.
And that's something most people don't think about, especially when they're young. Because when I was 18, I worked at a dairy in Colorado, and we were Teamsters. And it's like, look at these benefits. I don't give a crap about any benefits, man. How much you paying me? But now you start getting older, it's like, oh man, I need some good benefits.
Yeah.
So that is something that, if you know somebody who's an electrician who is looking to make a jump, there are a lot of opportunities out there. One thing we were talking about during the break was the data center. The data center is still looking for people, right?
Yeah, so like right now we're working on building 1, and we are we're sitting pretty good right now. I mean, we're always looking for more people to add, but right now I think we're doing fairly well. And then as things move on, hopefully we get continued work on the other buildings that are out there, and then and if that happens and we get moving on to building 2, we're going to see another uptick and need more people. I mean, as an example, right now we have almost 800 people working in our jurisdiction. And I mean, for us, for 265, 800 workers is a lot, because that's pretty confident that's the most we've ever had working out of our local union. So that's a really good thing.
Yeah. And well, Alex came to me and he goes, when he graduated, he goes, well, I really love the company that I'm with, but they're paying $51 an hour at the data center. I'm like,
on second shift. Yeah.
On second shift.
Yep.
It's like, and I worked second shift at a brewery. I left second shift, and it's like, but I didn't make no $51 an hour. I can promise you that, man. That's incredible.
Yeah. The money is good. I mean, right now contractors are paying over whatever our agreement is. I mean, we have every 3 years or 2 years, it kind of depends. We go through contract negotiations to try to make our contract and our pay and benefits better. And right now, just the general environment we're in, contractors are paying above scale to try to keep their employees because we're so busy all over the place. And then they're throwing on incentive pay, which is essentially another increased amount just to show up to work and basically be there. So, I mean, they're paying good money.
And you guys aren't just Lincoln, because I know you worked in Kearney for a little while.
It's greater Nebraska. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So like if you look at a map of Nebraska and take out Columbus, Norfolk, and pretty much go straight up to South Dakota there, and then you take out Cass County and Omaha area, we have the rest of the state. So I mean, 265 covers 85% of the state of Nebraska.
Oh wow! Now, do you recruit like Grand Island?
Yeah. So our main offices, well, Lincoln's our home base. Our alternate base would be Grand Island, and so we have an office in Grand Island. So the Tri-City area and Lincoln's really our bread and butter. But we are expanding all the way out to North Platte. So yeah, we have good things going.
Do you have the JATC program out there as well, or is that just a Lincoln thing?
So our main one is here in Lincoln. We do have one that's in kind of goes between Grand Island and Columbus, but hopefully in the future we can get something more established in the Tri-City area that's a little bit more comparable, like our one here in Lincoln. I think that would be good.
Yeah. So you don't have like a separate building out there, or do you just partner?
Just an office space out there right now. That's the one thing we're lacking. I'd like to get a space that we could use for labs out there, because right now we could use the space out there for classes, but then really labs, the only thing we really have for a good lab is in Lincoln. So it'd be nice to get something out there for labs.
And how many of your people are in Lincoln, and how many people are elsewhere?
So probably, I'll just ballpark it. I said there was about 800 working. Let's say there's probably close to 650, 700 in the Lincoln area, and then the other 100, 150 is out there.
All right. And can you kind of like transfer between the two if you go, gosh, I always want to live out in the country, out in the panhandle?
Yeah, I mean, if our contractors, if they can expand. So if you were working for them in Lincoln and wanted to move to the Tri-City area, they could put you to work out there. Absolutely.
And I know we were talking, there was the company you're with, they pick up different jobs in different cities, different states, even different countries. And you can take on those opportunities too.
Yeah.
Because weren't you looking to move to Mexico, was it? Or
no, it wasn't me, but I want to live down there. But
it's too hot.
Yeah, they had a contract down there where it was a short period of time. They sent workers down there to work. Yeah.
Well, he first considered going to Mexico when the stove went out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on the table.
The stove or the idea.
But the one,
not the food.
Yanked out of the wall.
But the one good thing is, like in Alex's case, he's young, he's a journeyman. He can, of course, we got work here and we need people here. He can work here, but right now things are so busy. He can pretty much go to any state, any city, and jump on the IBEW and work there.
Oh, so you can transfer between unions?
Well, so essentially just keep his home base here. Like he'd be a member of 265, but he could go work Kansas City,
North Carolina,
wherever. Yeah,
Mexico.
Wherever. Yep. Yeah, so that's the nice advantage.
That's right. I just want him out of here. I just want him in Mexico. Go away. Just go to Mexico. No,
say less. Party time.
All right. Well, you're listening to the 402 Business Insider. We are talking with Alex, my son, and we're talking with Tom. We're talking electricity and the JATC program. We got a break coming up here, so we will be back right after this.
1499.3 KLIN.
At Integrated Behavioral Health Services, we believe everyone deserves compassionate, high-quality care. Our experienced team is here to provide personalized care with dignity and respect for individuals experiencing a mental health crisis or living with severe and persistent mental illness. Take the next step towards better living. Call Integrated Behavioral Health Services today or visit ibhealthservices.com to learn more. Integrated Behavioral Health Services. Together, building a stronger, healthier community.
Hi, I'm Jason Ball, president of the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce. Are you ready to take your business to the next level? The Lincoln Chamber of Commerce is more than a membership. It's a network of forward-thinking professionals, top-tier events, pro-business advocacy, and strategic partnerships, all designed to elevate your success. And if you're ready to connect, collaborate, and lead, now is the time. Join today at lcoc.com. and be part of Lincoln's thriving business community.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
At the UPS store, we have everything to help small business owners be unstoppable. So if you need shredding, we'll be the shredding store.
Shredding? So you're saying you can make things disappear? Okay, but really, yeah, my Magician's Academy has a lot of paperwork I need shredded.
The UPS store can help small business owners be unstoppable with our shredding services. We'll help protect and manage your sensitive documents until they're properly disposed. The UPS store, be unstoppable. Shredding services are provided by Iron Mountain Information Management, LLC. The UPS store locations are independently owned. Visit the upsstore.com/shredding for full details.
Do you want to be a guest on the 402 Business Insider or know someone who should be? Go to 402insider.com and fill out a guest request form. We'd love to hear your story and share your insights on running a business.
If you've been seriously injured, victory requires teamwork. Together, we pursue justice to recover the financial compensation and peace of mind that you deserve. If you've been seriously injured, call Berry Law. We are in it to win it.
Small businesses are the heart of America. But you don't have to go it alone. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Get the connections, education, and guidance you need with SCORE. We're ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
Stories of local success. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
Welcome back to the 402 Business Insider on this cool, breezy, chilly morning here in Lincoln, where it's maybe 102 already. This segment's sponsored by Integrated Behavioral Health Services and the Lincoln Airport. You're searching for a flight, make sure you look going out of Lincoln, especially west, man. You gotta save a lot of money. I mentioned this before, but we just saved $150 per ticket flying out of Lincoln. So don't always just think Omaha's going to be cheaper. Not that there's a problem with the Omaha airport, other than it's a little further away.
There is problems with the Omaha airport. You don't need to go to Omaha.
Oh,
there's no sense in it.
L&K is a place to fly.
That's
from.
right.
Yeah, that's great. Well, this morning we're having a chat about electrical and working in the electrical field, being an electrician and working with IBEW 265 here in town. We're talking to both Tom and Alex. Alex is Travis's son. So yeah, that's
don't hold that against him.
Challenge. Okay, I won't. It just brings up so many you're
bad
doing
memories.
Really great. You're doing really great. You know,
in spite of all the handicaps that you were given in life.
Doing great. Yes,
that's right.
Yes.
Cut off at the knees, right at birth.
And then thank God for Shannon. Okay, so anyway, we've been talking quite a bit about what it is like to be a member of the union and work through the union. One thing I love that we were talking about off air is the benefits. And at 20, you don't think a lot about benefits, right?
Yeah.
At 64, I'm thinking a lot about Medicare, hoping that's going to be really, really
all
wonderful.
we think about is healthcare.
Yeah, I was self-employed. I mean, for years, and insurance for self-employed is incredibly expensive.
Oh man.
And then usually to make it affordable, we'd have a $5,000 deductible, $10,000 deductible. So tell us a little bit. Let's just talk a little bit about benefits, because I think they're fantastic. I think younger age, you don't think about a lot because you feel invincible,
Yeah, when you're made out of rubber.
Yeah.
I am invincible. Just remember
that.
Good luck with that.
And like I said, that vortex, front lobe vortex,
right.
and the brain is not developed till you're 25. So you're almost there, buddy.
Yes.
Yeah, trust me, you'll get it at some point in time and you'll love it. No, but talk a little bit about that, because you were talking about how you had to go out of state, yet your family's still fully insured here, and
so
you had to go to the hospital.
So like if you you can travel for. You get your German's license, you can travel for two reasons. You can travel because you have to, because work here is slow and you want to keep food on the table, or you can travel because you want to, because there are some places that pay more than here in the Lincoln area. So you can go to other areas, other locals, and chase the money, if you will, or travel and see the country. But when it comes to our benefits, you talked a little bit about the retirement. It's $6 an hour goes in every hour you work. $6 an hour goes into your retirement. But with the insurance, our insurance deductible is paid by you working. And so as long as you're working, your premium's paid. And then like right now, you need to work 138 hours a month to cover your premium. So, but on average, we're 160 plus hours. So then that extra starts to go into a bank that you can use for reimbursements and whatnot. The other thing is too, so your premium doesn't cost you anything. And then the other thing is it's doesn't matter if you're single, married, or have 10 kids, there's no extra increased cost. Jeez, you just add them on. So like anytime you had a new kid or got married, you just added them on. And there was no increased cost, because sometimes outside of us, you may work for an employer that covers your insurance, but then to add, any dependents, you have to add, and then you pay for it.
Yeah.
With us, you don't do that.
I think it should be said too that $6 an hour into the retirement is on top of your hourly wage.
I was just going to ask that.
It does not come out of your hourly wage.
No.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Can you imagine this setup if we had this opportunity when we were kids?
Yeah, I feel horrible.
I'm just sitting there going,
you should.
I really missed out.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I didn't even make $6 an hour, let alone $6 an hour into
64-year-olds entering the program?
That's right.
Yeah, that's a crazy benefit. And that is something for when you're younger, you're not thinking about that a lot, but trust me, when you get to be my age, it needs to be well thought out.
Yeah, because we hear it a lot from the younger people. It's like, well, I don't care about the benefits. I just want to I just want the money on the check. But, you know, once you get married and start having kids, they slowly start to change their opinion. But, I mean, yeah, life changes. But I mean, I have 21 years in with the local, and my retirement's very nice. And I have 20 more years before I retire. So I'm kind of right in the middle. And, you know, hopefully things keep going the way they are. Like we talked earlier, I mean, it is construction. So construction runs in cycles, but we've been very fortunate and busy for a while now. And I tell these young guys, eventually we're going to have a rainy day. So be saving your money.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, don't live too crazy. Like you can live comfortably, but save when you can. And then that way, if it gets a rainy day, you're covered.
And you can do that without even thinking at the credit union at the hall. They'll pull a percentage or a dollar amount out and they put it into an account for you. And I mean, I forget about it until I need it. And
yeah, that's the key. Don't let it touch your hands.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Yeah,
that's just it.
Absolutely. So our vacation is paid at 6.5% on top of the wage. So whatever you make hourly, you get 6.5% added on top from the contractor. And that goes into our credit union, into a vacation fund. But then you can also open a credit union account. And like Alex is saying, you could have, you know, $100 or whatever you want taken out of your check weekly and go to the credit union account. So then you have a vacation fund and essentially a rainy day fund just sitting there for you.
And that vacation fund, it adds up quick. I mean,
especially when you're taking the overtime and working.
Right. I mean, I get the statements in the mail, you know, and I open it up. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. This is nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when it's vacation time, you just dip into that fund, or
whenever you need some money.
Yeah. If Alex is like, hey, this month I'm going to take every Friday off, he can take a little out. Or if he's like, I'm going to take a long weekend or a whole week or two off, I mean, he can just pull out whatever he wants. It's essentially it's his money. So, you know, he can either take all of it or just part of it.
I use it to buy toys.
Yeah, I know. I see him every day out in the driveway. But again, back on the benefits thing, I look back like when I got married, which was in 2000, Shannon came onto my insurance, cost me like, and this was 25 years ago, it cost me $300-400 a month. And for you guys, it's included.
Yeah.
You just have to work, and
have to work at least 138 hours.
Yep. Yeah. Cause
that's crazy.
And then you think when we had kids, now I think it went up to like, it was like $1,000 a month or $1,200 a month. And the deductibles, like you were saying, they were a couple grand. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Our deductibles are reasonable, and like our prescription plan's really good. Like my family, we have lots of prescriptions. I mean, you go in there and I pay $1, $2, you know, depending on what it is.
Yeah. You get an RX card. I mean, that saved me tons of money. You know, you just give them your RX card and it knocks off crazy amounts of money.
Well, I remember last month you had to go in. I took you into the emergency room because you were really sick, and you're like, I don't know, man, this doesn't feel right. So we go into the emergency room, and Alex is like, oh man, I got this splitting migraine. And they're like, okay, well, you know, they hang up the IV bag for the migraine. I'm like, oh God, this is going to cost a fortune, you know. And what did it end up costing?
I just got the bill. I mean, the whole trip cost $3,000, and out of pocket I think I have to pay like a little over $1,000. I mean, it's like $1,000 even.
That was your portion?
Yeah.
Wow. For an emergency room trip.
Yeah.
It's crazy good.
I went to urgent care a little while before that. I think total it cost me $100. I mean, it's just dirt cheap.
Well, and Alex is a single young man. I mean, with my family, it's me, my wife, and 3 kids, and we hit the deductible pretty fast. So
sure.
Oh yeah.
So then once you hit the deductible, it's great.
Yeah. I remember we used to try and get, if you could get to your deductible, or if you weren't going to get your deductible this year because they were so high, then you go, okay, well, I can put this off for 2 months. We'll do it in January. We'll hit our deductible next year.
Right,
then we're going to get it all fixed.
Right.
And that was literally how you planned it out.
2025 is the year to fix
That's
things.
the year that I'm going to get these problems solved.
Oh yeah, we had a few times where we hit our deductible and it was getting to be November, and it's like, well, do we do this now or wait? I'm like, let's do it now. We're covered.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
we need to head to a break here on the 402 Business Insider, and we will be back shortly.
Looking for more than just a house? Find a home with the experts at Home Design Real Estate Group. Our team doesn't just help you buy or sell. We help you envision, design, and create the perfect space for your life. From first-time buyers to custom dream homes, we bring expert guidance, market insight, and a touch of design magic to every step. Let's make your next move the best one yet. Visit homedesignrealestategroup.com today.
Let's face it, suits can be sketchy. Ties too tight, shoes too polished. Sometimes you want to just go to your bank and feel comfortable. At Western National Bank, we get it. Whether you're making big life decisions or just taking care of business, there's no need for the suit and tie. At WNB, we rock jeans and tees. We're all about comfort while you bank with ease. Relax and get banking done in a way that fits you. Visit us online at mywnb.com or visit one of our 11 locations. Western National Bank, community, culture, commerce. Member FDIC.
Are you wearing all the hats in your business? Stop spinning your wheels. At Transformation Group, we help business owners scale without the stress. We deliver targeted marketing that works, take over time-consuming admin tasks, and automate your systems with our powerful SAM software. You don't need to do it all, just the right things. Visit tmresults.com and let's grow smart. Transformation Group, built for business owners like you.
Coming back from a serious injury is a win that requires teamwork. At Berry Law, we're in it to win it.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no. So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that ketchup.
Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
After my accident, people warned me to slow down. I said, I don't know how. Thanks to my VA care team, I haven't.
At VA, we're using technology to help veterans recover faster and live their lives to the fullest. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov/PSA.
Building business, one story at a time. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
And we're back on the 402 Business Insider talking with Tom and Alex with the electrical program, the JATC program. This section is this section. It's the north section of the show. Is the section that's sponsored by Lincoln Coin and Bullion and the Berry Law Group. I was so bummed we got bumped when John was going to come in and talk to us, but I think he's coming in September. We're going to talk about his new book, Veteran Led, which I'm learning to read. And I'm about 2 pages into it, but so far it's pretty good.
Are there pictures?
And you read every day?
There are not enough pictures. Yeah, I read every day, but I'm still on the same page.
I like 36 font with a big picture on each page.
There you go.
I can't color my books twice. So.
Oh my Lord.
So something we were just kind of talking about a little bit during the break, we were talking about travel. And so you traveled quite a bit when you were, well, I guess you still are technically an electrician.
Yes.
So tell us about some of your experiences, even though you're running the union, because you're not out twisting wires now.
No, it's a lot of days I wish I was.
I'll bet.
My wife teases me because I don't introduce myself as Tom business manager or Tom office guy. The joke is I'm just an electrician trying to be an office guy. Because I'm tasked with being the business manager, so I run the day-to-day business of the local union. But I am a licensed electrician and have a lot of field time. And I do prefer industrial work. That's always been my favorite. The thought process involved is what I enjoy. And then as far as the traveling goes, like earlier, I stated that you could travel for two reasons. One, because you just want to travel and chase the money and see the country, or you can travel out of necessity. And, we do construction, like I said, it's not always as glamorous as it is right now. But yeah, 2013, we ran into a slow spot here. So I went to North Dakota and worked up there for a few months from January to March. So I picked the warmest time to go to North Dakota.
Oh yeah.
It was really cold up there, but no, it was an experience. But basically what happens is you travel to another local, you get their pay, and benefits per their agreement, but we have a reporting system. So then even though I'm traveling, I'm working out of state, the money still comes back to my home benefits. That way I don't have benefits all over every time I go somewhere. I don't have like new benefits or pots of money all over the place. Everything gets funneled back into one pot.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
And traveling nurses don't get that. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think they do.
Yeah. They get paid a lot. But
My understanding, I haven't had the chance to travel yet, but our contract here at 265 is the benchmark. So if theirs is over, I get theirs, and if their contract is under, I still get what we have here.
Well,
right?
so that's
on the benefits.
Well, that's kind of a mixture of things there. So if you are traveling and take a call out of another local, you're getting their pay and benefits per their contract.
Okay.
Now, let's say the contractor you're working for has a job in another state and they send you as their representative to go work anywhere. That's when what you're saying comes into effect, because if ours is higher than that place, you would get ours. But then if theirs is higher, you would get theirs.
Okay.
So, but that's what we call a portability. So if you're working for one of our Lincoln contractors and you travel to another state, that's called portability. But if you travel to another local and take a call through them, then you're under theirs, whether it's higher or lower than ours.
Okay.
So when you traveled though, you said North Dakota.
Yep.
Have you gone some other places?
Yeah. So I worked out in North Dakota for a while. I worked out of South Dakota, and then one of our Lincoln contractors, they have a partner with a industrial company, and we had a really good relationship with him. So then I traveled to just work on their facilities, and usually it was just a small, 2 guys or whatever. And we went to Iowa, Illinois, Oklahoma, multiple places just for their facilities. And so that was interesting too. I got to do a little bit of both those scenarios that we were talking about.
Yeah, I was on the Browns website. It was a few months ago. They're looking for an electrician, and I go, Alex, do you think we could get a discount on our season tickets? I'm not moving to Cleveland, Dad. I'm not to save you a couple of bucks. So
that's a hard no.
Yeah,
Cleveland's
it's
a hard
hard
no.
enough to go to the games, let alone I wouldn't want to go.
When I
back
can
and
roast
live there.
weenies on the river, I'm not moving there.
Exactly.
I want to go back to something we talked about a little earlier. So I live in Grand Island. My son's interested or daughter's interested in becoming an electrician, and they can join the JATC program. Do they have to come here for their schooling those 2 nights a week, or is that available via Zoom? Or I imagine the labs you have to be. Dogs need to be taken care of very well. So labs, that's a whole other thing. But what about that? Can they travel or do Zoom?
That is something we're currently working on to overcome. So like when I was an apprentice, everything was books and paper. So you had to be in class
in person.
And of course, with during the COVID time, Zoom became a big thing. So that we were able to learn a lot about Zoom and how that worked. And in 2016, we went to blended learning. And so now as an apprentice, you need to have a laptop because you still have some books, but all your homework's on the laptop, right?
Pretty much. I mean, it depends on your instructor. Like this last year I was in, a lot of it was actual physical paper still because his curriculum was just preparing you for the test, and it was the same preparation over the years. So it didn't move to online, but majority of it is.
Yeah. So to answer your question, that was what they can do is for a general class, technically speaking, yes, they could Zoom in, and then for the labs, they would have to come here. But overall, that's something where Lincoln's been our mainstay, and we haven't had a typically speaking, they come here to Lincoln, but we're working on trying to get over that hurdle to where they could Zoom on regular class since everything's on their computer, and then just come here for the labs. That's what we're trying to work towards.
And you guys have a building that's dedicated just to this program. In fact, you're expanding it, aren't you?
Yeah. So down there off of 14th Street, we have our union office building and our hall for our membership for meetings. But then we have a JATC building that's dedicated just to the apprentices, and it holds their classrooms and their lab space. So it's kind of like our own little campus there.
And you have dedicated instructors that are teaching the program?
Yeah, so our instructors are journeyman wiremen that these guys work with. I don't know if Alex has worked with any of his instructors, but our instructors work in the field with the apprentices, and then they come in the evening and teach class. So they're really, really good guys.
Oh, they're top notch. I mean,
yeah, they know their stuff.
Yeah, every instructor, they get sent. Where do they go? They go to a college, and
so we have our apprenticeship training is it's NTI. It's the training institution. So we send our instructors to the NTI, which is basically the instructors and training directors across the country, and they get updated learning. And so it's kind of like continuing education for our instructors.
Yeah. And I still talk to some of them. I mean, they're very intelligent, and they want to help you personally. I've never met a group of 5 guys that want to help you understand and learn personally like these guys do.
And get you through the program.
Not even that. They'll help you afterwards too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Around with your dad and his friends. Well, we're at a point where we need to take a break here. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider, and we will be right back. Sorry for Jack.
You're listening to 402 Business Insider. Crow Lincoln is next on 1499.3 KLIN.
At James Arthur Vineyards, every bottle tells a story, and Three Legs White is no exception. This Honey-Kissed blend is a little sweet and very smooth, but it's more than just a great wine. It's a tribute to Diablo, our beloved three-legged winery cat who never met a stranger. Just like Diablo, this wine is full of character and guaranteed to make you smile. Head to the vineyard and grab a bottle, or find us at select retailers. Cheers to good wine, good friends, and great stories. James Arthur Vineyards, wine as beautiful as the place it comes from.
Have you thought about converting your IRA or 401k into gold or silver, but you don't know who to trust? You can trust Lincoln Coin and Bullion. They've been educating clients and helping them navigate through this process for years while earning an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Your business can't afford downtime, and neither can your roof. At Red Rhino Roofing, we've been serving Nebraska's commercial buildings for over 25 years. We're local, fully insured, and known for getting the job done right, on time and on budget. When others disappear after the job, we're still here standing behind our work. For flat roofs, metal, or anything in between, trust the local team that's built to last. Visit us online at redrhinoroofs.com. Red Rhino Roofing. Tough name, trusted team.
Big changes are happening at Wyuka Cemetery and Funeral Home to better serve the community. Starting June 1st, Wyuka staff will be working from a temporary location at 3119 O Street, Suite A, while current facilities undergo remodeling and renovations. All services will continue without interruption, and you can still reach Wyuka at the same number, 402-474-3600. Wyuka Cemetery and Funeral Home thanks you for your patience and support as these important updates are made.
Our daughter Lee was born with brittle bone disease.
Thanks to Shriners Hospitals for Children, I can go to school,
play, and do fun things like other kids. They've helped me so much. They're like my family. We need your help. Please donate today.
Shriners Hospitals for Children is changing the world through caring for kids. Please give today at 1-800-241-4438 or at shrinershospitalsforchildren.org.
The best way to interact with KLIN shows is through the Summit Lawns Talk and Text line at 402-479-1400. Summit Lawns, Lincoln's favorite lawn care company. Lincoln's entrepreneurs, one conversation at a time. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
Welcome back to the 402 Business Insider again on this chilly Saturday morning here, which I'm totally not telling the truth. It's very hot outside. This segment sponsored by are we at Barry Law and Lincoln?
No, we're at the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce.
We're kind of done with the show.
I know.
already
Can you?
almost.
It whizzes by so quick.
Yeah. So, well, there was a little extra for those two, but anyway, this one is
We love 'em.
sponsored by the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce. And if you are a business owner and sometimes feel like you're out there in the ocean all by yourself, join the Chamber of Commerce and go to some of their events. Because those of us that are entrepreneurs, sometimes it's easy to feel like you're on an island all by yourself.
It does.
And an organization like the Chamber is a good organization. They're solid. The leadership is really, really good. So if you're not a member of the Chamber and you own a business, join. We even have to.
I was going to say, even if you're not a business owner.
Yeah. Anyway. So.
Yeah, it's a great place to network and connect with other people and really grow business.
So I think we have one of the best looking guests we've had on here today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is actually Tom's wife, Val. And so I wanted to ask you what it's like, having a husband that's an electrician. I mean, we're talking about the benefits. That's got to be a big.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
It's the only reason she keeps me around.
Is the benefits.
Right.
And that vacation fund, which you get none of, and she goes on vacation.
Money and benefits is the only reason she keeps me.
Obviously.
But no, I the one thing I will say though is I wouldn't be able to be successful in what I'm doing without her support. And then when I traveled and when I travel now, she keeps everything going. But yeah, she's been a big supporter for my journey through the being an electrician and where I am now.
Yeah, we've only been around her an hour, but you're electrifying. So tell us a little bit. So when he was working in North Dakota, you had a family health situation that came up. It had to be comforting to know that you had these great benefits.
Yes, our youngest was 3, 2.5, 3 at the time, and he decided to climb up on the top bunk and fall off, and he actually landed on his head and got a brain bleed. And so I'm calling Tom, panicking. And of course, he's like, I'm 12 hours away and it's a blizzard. So I got into the hospital. I did not worry at all about anything. Like, we had met our deductible. And so the hospital was great. They were talking about taking him to Children's. I didn't worry about any of that because I knew even though he was out of state, we still had our health insurance.
Right,
I just knew that we were taken care of. I knew it wasn't, it wasn't like something I had to worry about. And it was great to know that. And I just also have to say the union themselves, they all knew I was alone. So I had people call. We had people who come over and cook us dinner.
Call brothers and sisters. It's a brotherhood.
They definitely step up, and they've stepped it up a few times for our family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that.
Luckily, but it's just, it's amazing. And I work separate, of course, but there was a point where I was home with the kids and I could do that because he was making decent money and we had health insurance. So it wasn't like you got to go work and get the health insurance, we didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, we were talking earlier that when you're young and you're in your 20s, right? Yeah. And you're invincible, and those are the ones going up and down doing wheelies on their bikes in between the lanes. Those guys, you don't think about this sort of a thing. But boy, once you have kids and you're married and life trucks on, it's a huge issue. Good benefits are a huge issue.
And just having a baby is expensive.
Oh, yeah. The fact that he can go to North Dakota and work and those benefits
are
stay
still
with
there.
you. And and it's a nice amount of
or
security.
that we have, and there's no waiting period. You don't have to, when he moved up or when he went up to North Dakota, I didn't have to wait 30 days for our insurance to kick in. It was still there. It wasn't taken away from us. It's always still there.
And this is proof also, if you become an electrician like Tom, you can marry up.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I love you, Tom. And just being a little bit crap there.
Do you have any advice for, maybe there's someone out there who their husband is an electrician, maybe not in the union? Is there any advice that you would give them to consider?
Go to the hall and have a conversation. like before Tom worked as the organizer for a couple years, membership developer, sorry. And I got to go to a couple dinners, and it was nice because like the wife asked these questions that, no offense, but guys don't think about.
No, we don't
like,
think about any of that stuff.
Like she's like, okay, so if he doesn't work 136, what happens? Or if he works over, what happens? So it goes into a pool and then you can touch it. Like it's great to go and just have a conversation. And like if your husband is thinking about it, make that call and yourself and just set up a time. Like,
oh, that's how it'd work at my house. If I was an electrician, she'd be like, oh, hey, I made this appointment for you.
Yeah. And they're great. Like everyone in the hall is great to talk to and work with. And
and when I was doing that, I did know if we can get the, because a lot of the, just a stereotype, but a lot of the guys are stubborn. And
no way.
And yeah, I know. And they have some kind of in their mind, they have some kind of tie to the contractor they're working for, like they owe them something, even though they could do better somewhere else. Well, when I was in that position, I was always try to get them to bring their spouse to a meeting with me. And then there was a couple of times where, I set up a dinner, like she said, and they would, I'd bring her with me because it's like, hey, their wife might feel more comfortable if you're there. And then the wives get to talking and we're all talking and the conversation just goes. And I found success doing it that way because like she said, they ask a lot of good questions. And then once you get the information in front of them, we had a couple instances where it was pretty funny because we got the information in front of them, we answered their questions, and the wife would look right over at the guy and go, what are you waiting on?
Yeah.
Okay, so my dad, like I was talking about earlier, was an electrician his entire life. My mom was consistently trying to get him to join the union, but he was very, very loyal to whom he worked for.
Right.
He never really got paid for what he was worth all those years. And I know we all wish that he would have joined the union and had that conversation, and he never really did. But that's a great way to approach it. I can tell you, if my mom would have gone, she
she would have pushed him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then he would have loved being an electrician, right?
Well, yeah, I don't know, I mean, he loved life. He was a great guy, but it was just like.
And then we do a lot with families. Like we do an Easter egg hunt. We do in August. It used to be called a hog roast, but now we go out to Rocaberry and we get one of the barns and we run around the pumpkin patch and they have like a short meeting and then we're fed usually Famous Dave's.
We're talking about it. Like, stepped it up. Rocaberry Farm.
Yeah.
If you haven't been in 10 years,
it's amazing.
An entirely different place.
Yeah, it is.
We love going in. So like she said, our annual picnic, back in the day when we had, it was always at our hall and we had horseshoes and all kinds of stuff. Well, then, people started to lose interest because nowadays, so many kids are in so many things. The parents are busy running their kids around and we were really losing interest. Well, then we moved it out to Rocaberry and we pay for the tickets. So then you just take your whole family, the local pays for the tickets, and then you can spend the whole day there. Yeah, you can spend the whole day there, get supper, and it's a way to give back to the members. And so I tell the members, if you're active and bring your family to these functions, it's a way to get more back out of it.
Well, it creates community.
Yeah.
So that when there is a crisis in a family or a health situation, people are there to help. That's huge.
Huge. I mean, we try to
pass the buck.
Yeah,
people get sick.
Yeah, we pass cards. The old pass the hat, pass cards around, get signatures, get money donated. Get people will reach out and drop food off. I mean, we try really hard to make everybody feel included.
So we only got about a minute left.
Yeah.
So for parents, grandparents, people who know, how do we get in touch with you? How do we get started in the program?
So go on, you can check us out online, IBEW.org, IBEWlocal265.org. The JATC has a website. You can check out the JATC there. If they're really interested, they can fill out an application and start the process. And the process is the application, then you get set up for an aptitude test, which is a basic algebra and reading comprehension. And after you pass that, you get it set up for an interview and you get ranked. And then that's what we pick our apprentices off of.
And if you're looking at making a switch, They can pick up the phone. They can just call the
Yep,
hall,
they
ask
can-
for Tom.
They can call or stop by, and we'll give them all the info and help out.
Outstanding. Well, I appreciate the time, guys. Alex, thank you very much for coming in on a Saturday. He usually sleeps in on Saturday.
This
so
has been an experice.
I
It's been
appreciate
wonderful
it.
having you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good weekend.
At Complete Family Dermatology, we specialize in the treatment of all types of skin disorders, from acne to skin cancer and everything in between. With 11 locations across South